What is up, home workout and bodyweight exercise fans? Welcome to another Q&A. Normally, I upload these on the weekend, but last week I was really busy with my interview with Dan John. I was editing that. If you don't know who Dan John is, he's basically the Yoda of strength training, of strength coaching. Amazing guy, amazing coach, really good books. Anyway, just go and watch that interview. I'll link it somewhere here above. If you don't know Dan John, or if you haven't seen the interview yet, we discussed a ton of stuff, strength related, life related. We philosophized a little bit. It was a big moment for me because he's one of the people that I really look up to. So check out the interview and let's move on to the Q&A. Again, if you want me to answer your questions below these videos, just post your question, but start with a capital QA. That way I can spot your questions more easily because I just answered these. I just see them now and answer them on the spot. I don't really sit down and analyze them or anything like that. So this one is from Joshua Bush, who says, have you ever been to the gym and seen how your strength built throughout bodyweight training would carry over? I know we don't talk about gyms here, but it would be interesting to see anyway. Josh, that's something I've been thinking a lot about and I want to do. So I definitely, once I feel like strong enough this year, I wanted to do this last year, but was just too busy with other things. So maybe this winter, I'm gonna try to find a gym and see how my strength, my bodyweight based strength can carry over to, let's say, classic exercises such as the bench press, which I haven't done since I was 20, so that's like 10 years ago. Maybe some, and some other classic weightlifting exercises. So I'm gonna definitely try to do this winter. Maybe I should start looking for a gym that would be open to that idea. Next, let's see. This one is from Richard Mainville, who says, have you heard of Wim Hof? And if so, what do you think of him? So Wim Hof is the Iceman. He's of Dutch origin. He lives here in Amsterdam. I've done actually one of his courses. He has an online course and it's some pretty interesting stuff. So he has a lot of breathing exercises, and I was surprised because through his exercises I was able to keep my breath for about, let me think, I think I could hold my breath up to close to 3 minutes. Normally I can keep my breath up to 1 minute or something like that. I haven't gone up more than 90 seconds I think in the past, but after trying his techniques, I could do some pretty cool stuff like that. I'm gonna try to get an interview with him soon. I know he's super busy as a guy, but I really like his stuff. So maybe that's the next person I should interview. Moving on. This one is from Tinu Thomas. You offered your books for free in Kindle. Is there any other way I can get your books for free other than Kindle? Because I'm not using Kindle. I desperately need these books. I did a free promotion of the last 3 days on Amazon, and I basically gave all my Kindle books for free for 3 days, just as a thank you to all you guys who support me. I announced this through my newsletter, so if you wanna make sure you don't miss out on these things, I don't always upload this stuff on YouTube if I won't have time, or if I don't have like an internet connection. Like this weekend I was super busy, I was traveling and stuff like that. So make sure you subscribe to my newsletter if you don't want to miss out on things like that. I'm gonna put a link above. Basically, if you go to my website homeeatmuscle.com, there's like a pop-up somewhere at the top, I think, where you can just subscribe and get all the Home Eat Muscle news, offers, and free things I try to offer. In general, I try to give, when I write a new book, I always give it for free during the first 5 days, because Kindle, Amazon allows you to do that, but they don't allow you to, if you want to be part of that program, the Kindle something special program that allows you to do these free offers and stuff like that, they don't allow you to give your books for free or in general in any kind of other format. So that's why I don't sell my books on my website, for example, and stuff like that, and I only keep them on Amazon for the time being. So To answer your question, Thomas, sorry, I can give you the books for free because I'm not allowed to provide them in any other kind of format out there. Moving on, Q&A. This one is from Raymond. Do you do other variations of push-up to specifically target mid and upper chest? And how to increase shoulder stability strength? Okay, so 2 questions basically. Let's start with number 1. I don't do variations of push-ups, in terms of hand placement. I believe in just using a neutral hand placement and just mastering that and focusing more on the mind to muscle techniques. I've made a video again about how to use your mind to muscle and push-ups to build more, to focus more on muscle contraction, build a bigger, wider, rugged chest. If you YouTube it, it's called how to build a wide, rugged chest with push-ups, I think, and add homemade muscle next to that. It's gonna pop up in the first results. So yeah, I just focus on that. And for your next question, how to increase shoulder stability strength? Well, a lot of ways. Handstands, number 1. One arm lat ups. Check that also. YouTube that. One arm lat ups, LAT ups. So basically, that's a dead hang with a one arm where you only contract your lats and you lift yourself basically upwards without bending your elbow. That's a term I coined after I wrote my article on how to do a one arm push up on T Nation, the one arm lat up. So start with these 2, and if a one arm lat up is too difficult, start with the progressions I have. Focus on these 2. Don't try to do a million things together. Start with the basics. So one arm lat ups, or you can start with 2-handed dead hangs as a progression. Just go watch that video I told you. And handstands. Start doing handstands on the wall and slowly start working on free handstands as well. Again, I have a tutorial for that. YouTube it, free handstands, tutorial, homemade muscle. Next, let's see. I would like to add all these links, but this video is like usually too big and I just don't have the time. Sorry, guys. This one is from Aras, who says, I want to ask your opinion about having push-up dips and handstand push-up variations in the same workout, an upper body workout, along with the pull-ups and rows. Now, my question would be, this question is not that well, a bit complicated here. Let's see. Okay, so what he basically asks is, would it be bad to have 2 pulling exercises and 3 pushing exercises, since they're not equal in volume? Or would you recommend removing dips, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically, he asks if it's bad if you're using 3 pushing exercises in a workout with 2 pulling exercises. Because, maybe you'll create imbalances that way. And my answer is no, you won't create imbalances. As long as you work on getting really strong at your pull-ups and your inverted rows, as long as you cover those 2 angles and you also do your pushing exercises, you won't have any problems unless you already have an imbalance that's linked, maybe with a problem you've had since you were young or, since you were born. So unless you don't have any imbalances, don't worry, it's not that easy as people try to make things too dramatic online. Don't do that, you're gonna get an imbalance, don't do this. No, guys, it's not that simple. It's not that easy. Just focus on getting stronger on multiple planes of motion. So pull vertically, pull horizontally, and do your dips, do your push-ups, do your handstand push-ups as well. So push again, push this way horizontally and push downwards. Because if you wanna, for example, in this case, if you wanna add an opposite exercise for dips, so dips are basically pushing this way, what would you do? You would have to pull this way. So you would have to add an exercise like this. Now, that could be, for example, doing like the dumbbell pulls for your traps and stuff like that. But the thing is that our traps are already super stressed in our daily lifestyle. You know, we're sitting like this. When we're stressed, we're doing like this because these are survival muscles, you know, because your neck is the most delicate part of your body, the most sensitive. You know, if you got bitten here in the past, this is where your carotid artery goes through. You could bleed out and die really fast. So your protective muscles are basically these. Your flight or flight muscles are these. And you know, the moment these used to be a helpful system in the past. You know, like doing this, so you could cover this area here. But nowadays, because we're stressed every single moment of the day, we do this way too much. So you know, if you want to also add like another exercise to balance your dips on top of these already stressed muscles here, you would probably do more balance. So having your program, your workout plan a little bit more imbalanced in this way when it comes to this plane of motion is probably even better, even safer. So that was a bit long, but I hope it makes sense. Let's move on to the next question. This one is from Robert G, who says, thank you for answering my question last time. For front and side splits, etc., what is the most effective way to increase flexibility for hamstrings and inner thighs? So the best way to increase flexibility for front and side splits is doing every day front and side splits. I see way too many people get focused and lost into too many progressions out there. I don't know why people go crazy over progressions online, but guys, if you want to get good at something, you just have to do that something. Now, there are specific techniques on how you do stretch. And here's the thing. Your muscles, when you stretch a muscle and it becomes more flexible, it doesn't elongate in size, you know? That's not how your body works. So people think that you stretch a muscle, it becomes longer, and that's why you're more flexible, most people at least. And that's not the case. The reason you're become more flexible is because you teach your nervous system to relax. So, you know, when you try to do like a stretch, or let's say you want to touch your toe, because that's a movement you don't do in your daily lifestyle anymore, like really rarely. The moment you try to go too low, your body locks because it's afraid that you're going to overstretch something, you're going to injure something, you're going to, you know, rip a muscle, torn a muscle apart. So it locks. And the reason you can't do that is not because you're lacking the range of motion, your muscles don't get any longer or shorter, it's because your neuromuscular system just locks and keeps the muscles tight. So what you have to do is work on those exercises that you talked about, do them every day, and learn to relax your nervous system. So how do you do that? You learn to breathe more. Breathe from your diaphragm. You know, that relaxes your fight or flight state, you know, and allows your body to get into a relaxed state. And, you know, try to brainwash yourself, telling yourself like, this is okay, this is not a stressful situation, like you can relax now. And, you know, you'll feel some resistance, some pain, and, you know, just learn to slowly embrace that pain. You know, don't overdo it, obviously. You never should overstretch things, but gradually, you know, inch by inch. Just try to teach your nervous system to relax in that position. Try to breathe from your diaphragm, from your belly, and just relax into stretching. I think that's even a book from Pavel Tsatsouline. So he has a really good book on stretching. Check it out. Pavel Tsatsouline again. Just search Pavel and stretching on Amazon or wherever you buy books. You'll find it. I have also a video, The Truth About Stretching. If you Google or YouTube that, I talk about that as well. And about, you know, all the theory I just mentioned. I put it there a bit more structured. So I hope that helps. Moving on. This one is again from Tinu Thomas, who says, I heard mentioning about protein intake. What about carbs and fats as per body weight? So I'm guessing you're asking, you know, I've talked about protein intake, but I never mentioned carbs and fats. So you probably want to know how are those important when it comes to body composition, to getting leaner. And the thing is that you don't need a lot of carbs. So what's essential is protein. Now, some people feel better with more carbs, less fat. Some people feel better with more fat, less carbs. Here's the thing: just make sure that your protein is covered every day. So that's 1.5 grams of protein per kilo of your body. So make sure you're getting that every day, and experiment with your fats and carbs. Like, see how do you feel better. Usually, not always, but usually, if your energy is pretty low, especially during your workouts, that might mean that you should decrease your fats a little bit, increase your carbs. If you're feeling always too hungry, even though your protein is pretty high, that probably means that you should increase a little bit your fat. And obviously, the good fats, like get avocados, get nuts, get these kinds of stuff in your diet. I'm not talking about bad quality fats. And that's an easy way to, see how much you need out of these two. So personally, I don't stress about that. As long as my protein is covered, after that, I'll just focus on eating some healthy fats every day. And, depending on what I'm going to cook for dinner, I might have more carbs or less. But I don't overanalyze things, and I used to overanalyze things, but ever since I simplified things this way, my body has been looking better than ever. But we'll also talk about that in the course I'll be uploading soon, from skinny fat to, stubborn fat to abs. I'm gonna be sharing more of that on through my newsletter, and I'll also upload some videos here pretty soon, so keep an eye from that. Let's see, moving on. I think there's a question here, but there's no capital QA, so I won't answer it. Sorry, next time. Just so we can keep things structured. I'm not answering your question because I'm an asshole. Your name is, by the way, Frantisek Sehor. So post your question next time in this video. Okay, and for our last question, this one is from Cactus Jack, who asks, how much sleep do you get each night? Well, let me get some water first. I used to sleep 8 hours last year, and a lot of times it didn't feel enough. I felt pretty tired pretty often last year. Of course, I had a lot of things going on, but I still do this year. But what did I change? So how am I sleeping this year less? I'm sleeping 7 to maximum 7:30, 7.5 hours per night, and I'm feeling better. And the way I accomplished that is I started meditating before going to sleep. So you'll probably know, at least those who follow me here, that I meditate every morning, and now I've added also a meditation session at night. I do this for about, depends, 15 to 20 minutes until I feel pretty sleepy. And I've noticed that ever since I started doing this, I'm sleeping less and I'm feeling more rested, and this is something they told us in a 10-day meditation retreat I was this September at. I made a video about that. You can YouTube it, Google it. And they told us that, if you meditate before going to sleep, you'll sleep less. So basically you won't be losing time, because, time is of essence in nowadays. And, I said, what the hell, let's try this. And it worked. The reason I think this works, and this is not something I've researched, I don't think it's been talked anywhere about. I've tried researching it, I didn't find anything. But the reason I think this works is the following. We've gotten so used to going to bed nowadays and sleeping in a stressed state that, it's become normal. So we're used to sleeping with some stress levels in our body when we go to bed, with some cortisol there, just bubbling. And that doesn't allow us to get into deeper states of sleep. Or we don't get enough, we don't stay enough into those deep states of sleep every night in order to recover properly. Because, those are the states where you recover the most. Your body is optimally, optimally rebuilds and, regulates all the hormones it needs, the growth hormone, the testosterone, all that things, all those physiological things that take part during night that help your body recover, heal, and your brain. So because we don't do that, we don't get the most out of our sleep. Now, when you meditate before going to bed, what happens is you decompress faster. So you drop those stress levels, and that allows you to go to sleep faster and get into deeper states of sleep. So, that's what I've experienced. So my hack for you, if you're wondering, maybe you have sleep issues, maybe that's why you asked this question. If you want to improve your sleep, if you want to get better sleep quality, if you want to fall asleep faster, start meditating before going to bed. Just 15, 20 minutes, some basic breathing, mindfulness meditation, stuff like that. That's what I do. Vipassana meditation is pretty good. So these are the things I do. I hope you enjoyed today's Q&A, and until next time, keep on training.